CLG, I think they were out gathered outside the gaming house around the shrine, the CLG shrine, meditating, praying to the gods that are CLG to get ready for this game. Because, again, if they win it, they go to the final tomorrow night. We've got the veto. Everything's done. We're ready to roll. But before we do all that, we do have to take a look at each individual player.
Do we have to?
I mean, you can close your eyes.
Okay.
I'm going to show everyone else. Okay, close your eyes. I'm going to bring it up. CLG first. Let's do it. Okay. So, CLG, you opened your eyes already.
I know. I'm excited.
You're such a cheater. FNS, Tarek, Cutler, Hazed, and JDM. We've talked a lot about them over the last 3 nights. We'll talk about them again tonight and potentially tomorrow if they can wrap up this series.
Yep. So FNS, Tarek, Cutler, Hayes, JDM. JDM, definitely the standout player, I would say, been absolutely lights out recently. AWP player, actually getting himself, and I'd say, to the number 2 slot of the AWPs in NA right now. Maybe kind of getting into the...
If you include Fallen, you could take your pick.
I guess that's true. I always forget Fallen and when I say NA.
Well, that's why I said if you include
NA.
Yeah,
sure. So I guess Fallen, I would say, slightly above him, but JDM definitely been impressing me a lot recently. Cutler, in-game leader, kind of been pointed out for inconsistent recently. Tarek, the big fragger within the team as well. You can definitely rely on him to actually hold positions by himself and always get 1 or 2 frags. FNS and Hayes as well. Definitely, there's a lot of skill in this lineup. That's what I like about this. Everyone's a good individual fragger. It's just, it seems like the problem for them recently has been that synergy and the teamwork and the approach to the kind of games. But the last few matchups we've seen with them actually improved a lot across the board, I would say. Actually been really impressed with these guys. Seem to be working hard. That team house is working very well for them. And actually, I think these guys are in contention to maybe have a shout at that number 1 NA spot.
They're within reach of it, but
I think so.
I don't know how long is that arm, really? Is it going to get to that objective? I mean, Cloud9 still, I think obviously today they showed that they've got chinks in the armor. Their 3-month little swan song, it might have ended. They've got some rebuilding. I wouldn't say rebuilding, but readdressing things to do for Cloud9's
all I can say
perspective.
Is these guys seem like they're getting better every single game.
Absolutely, that I will not disagree. And actually, talking to Fallen earlier this evening during our Vulcan show, he was saying that Cloud9 and I talked about why is it that they always go to the majors in the North American zone. He said Cloud9 and CLG are not that far behind us at all. Mm-hmm. In fact, in the elimination match, CLG actually only lost by 2 rounds to not make it through to the best of 8 in the major, or make it through to the next game in the major rather, because they would have to do it twice. But either way, the point is, you're right. They're very close to that. It's good.
Like if we look back 6 months ago, we couldn't say any NA teams really were even competitive compared to Europe. And now we've got 3. If you include Luminosity, we've got 3 guys who could actually.
We've got 3, but the other one's banned. So 3 if you include 4 if you include the NA or Brazilians in NA.
Who are you talking about as banned?
I buy Power.
Well, they're not a team anymore, are they? So, yeah, we can include those if you like. But like I'm saying, it's exciting for the scene as a whole that these guys have arrived and they're stepping up and they're going big and maybe they can contend. Like in the next few months, I don't see why they won't be on that top echelon of the scene. But let's have a look towards Liquid as well.
Absolutely. So Liquid, this is the team that on paper, you look at the organization that is Liquid. You just hear that name when you think of success in esports.
Yes.
Haven't had much of it across the board lately, but more so in CS, it's the team that should be that 4th team in North America, and they've taken baby steps toward it, but they haven't taken a giant leap just yet. Potentially looking to do so now that Heat goes in. Elige brought some skill to the lineup as well, but Fugly, Nitro, Adren, that's your core of this team, or at least has been the longest standing core of this team. So
Hiko joining, arguably one of the best NA players that's ever been produced in CSGO. Completely nuts at some points and murked for a lot of teams recently. Obviously, Flipside and taking down NIP there. That was obviously a big performance for him, and he's been the super merc ever since then. But it seems like ever since he's joined the team, it hasn't quite clicked just yet. These things do take time. You can't think that it's going to work overnight. He's going to join and they're going to be much better. He obviously needs to be comfortable. They're going to be trying to base their game around him, and it's going to take a little bit of time. But Adren as well, still the in-game leader and the AWP player as well, has been stepping up a little bit more recently. Against Method yesterday, he seemed like he'd found a little bit more confidence. Nitro, we talk about him being one of the best fraggers, and his play on Cash yesterday especially was absolutely crazy. I actually really enjoy watching him. I think he's a great player. He's one of the guys that's either completely nuts or a little bit below average. But
this is pretty nuts, though, when you look at this, because we used to go back in time toward January, February, even into some of the early weeks of March, that Liquid could beat CLG and was regularly doing so. That has changed massively. This head-to-head indicates it perfectly. 4 out of 5 of those are direct wins for CLG, and 1 is a split, at face it. So Liquid's definitely not been able to pull their weight against this team, and obviously the most recent of which was PGL Season 1. That was just a few nights ago where it was 2-0 for CLG.
Yeah, well, CLG definitely do consider to be the better team right now, but this is the whole thing. Liquid are trying to improve themselves every day, and the results they've had in the last 6 months, there's nothing I can really think about that's actually impressed me, to be honest, especially at European LAN events. It's always just been a little bit of a damp squib. You're always thinking, okay, these guys do need to start getting some results. They've been a team for a very long time now, and nothing's really come to anything too impressive, to be honest. Now I think that's why the lineup change has come in, taken out Flowsick there and brought in Hiko, and hopefully he probably is the most ideal player you can bring into a lineup to kind of rebuild this mentality. So how do you think that's going to go down? Do you think he can salvage the problems they have?
It's interesting right now. You're starting to get in a similar situation for me that Cloud9 had with too many leaders in a way, because they've also got GB James now as their coach, which Adren, I talked to him at the NA qualifiers for the last major in Burbank, and he said that he was actually really happy to have him there because his mid-round calling actually wasn't too bad for being the sixth man. He was able to pick up on little things, and the timeouts he was contributing quite a bit of as a general oversight, whereas Adren was trying to op as well. So if Hiko can also bring in some leadership, does it start to mix too many leaders into it? Does it get confusing? Or does he just stick to his basics and go lights out with fragging? I think if they can figure it out, then they've got all the potential and the ingredients there. It's just the hard part is to cook it with the right amount of heat.
I think when you have such a big personality as Hiko within the lineup, you have to remember he's going to want to do his own thing. He's going to have his own feelings and gut instincts that he wants to go and try. He can spot certain weaknesses. Obviously, he has a heavy lurk presence as well. So I think it's just a case of he won't be calling as such, but he'll be saying, okay, I think I can do this. And that's when you have to allow him to actually get the most out of someone like him. Right?
And that's where Nitro also comes in with that role. I do think there is some conflict in there in terms of personalities. We're going to look at the head-to-head matchup as well. This is one that we bring to light.
I picked this out. I thought it would be interesting tonight.
And I think I'm going to pick into your mind here before you even speak it. I think you were trying to allude to the fact that Adren has to answer the task that JDM is going to contribute with the AWP.
Well, JDM, we talk about him being within that top 3 of the NA scene right now, and he seems to be really impressing us every single game. Adren, a little bit lackluster. He's not a bad player by any stretch. He can definitely AWP. It's just not he doesn't have the same impact as all these other teams. He's not the all-star player just yet, I wouldn't say. He's been AWPing for a while. A lot of people are calling out whether he can pick up the pressure of being the AWP. It's like being the striker on a soccer team, right? So you're the one everyone's looking to get the opening picks on his team. You're getting the big clutches. You're getting the crazy picks through the smoke and all that sort of thing. Adren, although he can be good, he just doesn't. He's not a superstar caliber for me, and that's kind of the problem. It's like he'll buy the gun, have no impact with it, and he seems like he can be better with the M4 in some cases. So I'm kind of interested to see whether he can step up tonight. A lot of pressure on him, especially when you have such presence as JDM, who is that superstar caliber, and he does bring a lot to the team. So that's why I picked that lineup tonight, or that matchup, I should say, just to see whether it will come to something interesting and whether Adren can go toe-to-toe with him.
We'll take a look at the picks and bans as it is a best of 5. We're only going to ban out 2, and I have a feeling Liquid's going to want to get rid of Cobblestone after their last encounter. There you go. They did.
Definitely. They were so poor on Cobblestone. Like their CT side was pretty abysmal, to be honest, and then the T side pretty static as well. So that's a good ban for them. Inferno going for CLG. We haven't seen them play Inferno the last couple of nights, so that's kind of understandable as well. So first map will be Cash. That could be actually pretty interesting. Liquid were against Method, especially. They seem to have a really confident approach. Like there's like a new
the thing with Liquid on Cash is that they do have a really good A with both Nitro inside that site. He's an absolute menace in behind red box. They actually, Hiko likes to play that spot, and they refused him. They said, nope, sorry. And Elige wanted to play that spot, and they said, nope, no way. Because Fugly and Nitro, I believe it is right now, that play in there together, are just so damn good together that you cannot stop them. They'll bring the AWP over there occasionally, but it's not often they will because it's just so solid with those two riflers. So watch for Adren to have the op if he gets it out CT side, which he should, toward that connector position. The issue is their T side is definitely lacking. Adren doesn't like to pick up the op. Nitro won't do it unless they call for it. They are decent with smoke executions on A, but they seem to get shut down with aggressive play against them in mid.
What I liked about their T side is it was quite dynamic compared to what we saw from them before, and especially maps like Overpass and Cobble. They were very slow. They were trying to work picks too heavily. On Cash, on their T side, they were actually boosting up very quickly. They were confident in taking middle. They were going very fast. They were actually allowing their players like Nitro to get control of middle and actually have some space to utilize his AK aim. Instead of sitting there waiting for CTs to push him or holding certain angles, getting flashed off, they were being on the offensive. And it was very refreshing to see someone like Liquid actually stepping up like that. So that's why I'm actually quite pleased Cash is coming up. And Dust 2 second as well. 2 big high fragging maps just to kick things off, and it should set the tone as to who's going to be the better players tonight. That's what it's going to come down to, I think. Obviously, CLG on paper, the last encounter we had was 2-0 in their favor. Definitely looked like a more well-oiled unit. They were had a lot more synergy. They were working together in terms of going frag for frag with each other, and it was Liquid who seemed like their approach was kind of lackluster, to be honest. And I hope tonight they've kind of worked on those issues and can potentially work out what the main problems for them were. They were just too static. They were too focused on working the picks and trying to execute too late onto the bomb sites. That's what was a problem for them. So hopefully they've kind of addressed those issues tonight.
Well, let's take a peek here at what our predictions do say throughout the various websites. It is going to favor CLG on EGB, 1.2 to 3.3, so 1 to 3 essentially, 1 to 3 again. Same for esports gaming. Pretty consistent stuff. CSGO Lounge, 76 to 24. Essentially the same thing, and now it's going to be HLTV 61-39. So a little bit more favoritism there toward Liquid than the other polls. Chat, way to go. Way to have fans for both sides at least. 52 to 48. Still favors CLG, but only just, as we do start things off on cash for Game 1. Henry, I've got to ask you your prediction.
Oh, it's a difficult one. Best of 5. I do want to believe that Liquid can make this competitive at least, but I'm going to say 3-1 in favor of CLG. Just because I want Liquid to do well. I like it to be really close games, but if you're looking at it, CLG just are the better team right now. It's not so much they have the better players across the board. I think Hiko's going to be a massive influence tonight, but I think 3-1 to CLG is a reasonable prediction.
I think 3-1 is where it should end. In my heart of hearts, that's the prediction I want to make. But I'm going to be faithful to my Vulcan.
Okay.
And say that it goes 3-0 CLG and Liquid don't want a map.
Okay. I honestly hope it goes all 2-5. I think that'd be great. Like, it'd be a really cool
I agree, and I do think that Liquid should at least pick up one. There you go. Chad agrees with you. I'm not far off that, but I think CLG, I think they can do this in 3 if they really put their mind to it. And again, Liquid needs to show up. Need to address a lot of the issues that they had against CLG just 2 nights ago. Disorganization, a lot of indecision. CT side overpass was really all we saw from them. But down the slide into the action, we'll get straight underway on cash. And of course, as it is Team Liquid's map choice, it'll be CLG's side choice, and therefore they'll start out on the CT.
So yeah, obviously Cash is one of the maps. I wouldn't say it's super biased towards CT, but it's still one of the favoured side. Most teams will favour to go there. I think it's about 54% favoured if you're looking statistically towards the CT. So they will be picking that up. So this is one of the ones actually I favoured. I said about Liquid, they're really good on the T side. They're very fast. They seem like they've actually, it's a map they're kind of a little bit more comfortable on. Something like Cobble, where it takes a lot of team execution and making sure you're going in quite methodically. It's one of the ones you can actually be a little bit more reliant on your fraggers and allow them to get into big positions, and then you can do simple executions on the A side as well. It only takes 2 smokes to get into that bomb site now. Like 1 smoke out Squeaky, 1 towards Highway, 2 pop flashes, out you go, and you can just rely on aim at that point. So that's why I like this map as the first one. But let's have a look. We are going into the pistol now. Team Liquid are going to be on the terrorist side. We've actually got 2 utility players. It could be Adrent and Hiko here. And this should be interesting to see those ones go down. They normally go into a complete hold here, spreading 5 players across the map, and they will be doing, once again, no aggressions from the CT yet, which is interesting. A lot of teams will push into B storage, for example, and try and work out whether a rush is incoming, but Cutlass could be boosted up there, above A main. Interesting position on pistol, not one you normally see up there.
That smoke will slow things again. It is true on the pistol, you don't see it up there, but that's when Shroud's done well with it in Maniac as well. Both of them have made it work in eco rounds, but
pistol round, when you've got the USP, it's obviously a difficult gun to spam when there's so many people walking through. If you get checked out there, it's going to be a difficult procedure. But Elige now getting some intel on middle. Hasn't been spotted just yet, but this could be quite good.
Oh, Hayes definitely saw it there. Yeah. He saw the second man. I don't think he saw Elige forward, but he'll make the call that they've got up highway. So JDM will tap away with the USP. Hits the head of Elige. That'll start it off. Have they spotted Cutler? They have. And that pistol already down in that position. Into the site they go with force as well. 5 players already in. Make that a little bit less because they've dissolved as they walk through the doorways. So down to just 2, and now 1 with Fugly in behind Forklift. It's a 1 versus 2, mind you, as a Dren gets dropped. And Fugly goes as well. They did well to rotate quickly, and I think that all came off of Hayes making the really fast call that they were pushing into mid.
That's all it came down to. The fact he even spotted a pick sort of a player towards middle there, his players on A were able to focus their attention towards highway and then take that first shot with the USP. He's always going to have the advantage of that area. Cutler managed to get 1 frag on that boosted position, actually. So look at how flashy he was as well. The fact he got 1 was pretty impressive, and then the T's just kind of fell apart at this stage. Too many players towards A. But now we go into the second round. We can see Liquid have 4 sport into this. 5 Tech 9s in armor. Normally this does mean you go for a simple A play here, smoking off 1 key position and pop flashing through. But they're going to be holding across the map once again. Not going to be committing to anything too early. Perhaps looking towards middle here. These 3 players do group up. A boost comes in as well. And it's going to be 3 Famases, 1 M4 and a P90 for CLG.
P90, we've seen that come out a lot over the course of the PGL season. Cutler tries to do damage with that from Austin middle. Takes a bit in return, but overall Delta out more as Nitro goes down to 64, Hiko on 71, but they're going to group for this B play, and Hayes is going to hit that with a nade. Successfully so, as Elige will go down. Tarek knows he's getting smoke, pop splashes his way through, bounced it off the floor, in fact, so not even the right click into it, and that gets him 2 kills when he arrives. But they do get 1 in response, as Hiko will find Tarek in the end. Hayes to down Adren, leaves just poor old Hiko remaining, and there's not much he can do from underneath the balcony, so it will now be 2-0, and rather efficiently so.
Yeah, very nice from CLG. A good hold there. Making sure they didn't commit to any sudden angles too early on.
They didn't get back to recover that M4, though, for Tarek.
Yeah, it's not at the end of the world. Obviously, he's going to be going up against a 5 Glock around here. And they got through middle pretty cleanly. They got to the vents. The B split came in. You can see here Tarek was just so ready. The calls were good. The communication was up there. And Tarek, holding strong, getting 2 headshots, did go down in the end. But ultimately, the round's pretty clean. You can see 5 Glocks coming in. Actually, 1 P250 on Hiko, beg your pardon. And 5 guys heading towards the B storage right now. No one committing to the other area. You can see they've got 1 flashbang, so you would assume 1 flash coming in, burst onto the bomb site, and hope they get a bomb down here. That's going to be the only objective, really. Can't have much hope to win the round.
Try and get that smoke out onto the A site, but look at the action on B. They don't even need to expend the utilities. It's just a slaughter. Not a single body further than about a 5-foot difference from that gap in the door inward toward the site.
This is where it gets interesting, though, because obviously we've got the P90 save, the Famases for CLG as well. They know Liquid probably won't have an AWP, so they can be a little bit cheeky, possibly pushing the squeaky door, maybe send a couple of players towards B storage and go for some early faces. FNS actually could be going in with that good spawn towards B. Interesting to see how he actually faces this one. Looks like he's going to be going all in, and yeah, as before, he's going for the first aggression there. He wants to go with that early pick and see what he can find here. The T's will be waiting for him, though. They're expecting this, so not much going to come of it. Falling back, and that middle aggression we talked about has come true for Liquid once again.
First time they've had the first pick, they'll take down Tarek to start things off. That's only their 5th kill so far in the match, but again, it is the first gun round for them. Point I'd rather make with that is that CLG will have money enough for the next round. Finesse is going to take down Adren. He's just worked his way in this bomb site, though, and they've actually circulated through and not found anyone. So watch for the bomb plant to take place as Nitro is going to go on the hunt. And JDM, though, does have a P90, and 19 HP for Nitro means he'll get sprayed away. The second JDM spots him down. Hiko, mind you, is waiting at locker for anyone on a potential flank, and no one's going. JDM, FNS, they're going to get together, group up, talk about days of old when things were brighter, because this one's dark and going the way of Liquid.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's exactly what I said I liked about this team. Liquid set up on the T side. They're very happy to go through middle. They have they're waiting for the Molotov to be dropped on the boost area, drop the smoke on top of there, and they just boost up, go through as fast as they can. If the CTs aren't ready for that, they exploit it every time. They've got some very good aimers on the team, and they will get that first shot pretty much every time. So nice play from Liquid, getting the first one on the board, but as you said, it was kind of the round CLG tried to be a little bit cheeky on. They kept the P90s and the Famases, trying to keep the economy strong. They definitely will be able to buy this round, but this is where it gets interesting, because obviously they can change up now. They could get an AWP if they wanted to. Finesse definitely has enough cash, and they actually will. So JDM picking up the AWP. He's got a very decent spawn as well. So he has the option. He can go towards A main. He can go for that early phase, or he can hold middle and potentially go towards B and anchor that by himself as well, allowing 3 rifles to go to mid. So that's what's going to be happening by the looks of things.
Watch that smoke, though, because Nitro wants to get through it, so Tarek needs to be aware of this. And Nitro's going to find Hayes before Tarek even gets in the corner to dodge that flash, and he hits 2, though. Great response. Hiko gets FNS, but bombs down in mid. Tarek might just be on 8 HP, but he's going to relocate himself into that cubby. That nade's going to do it, or does it bounce too far? That's not well thrown at all. In fact, I think they anticipated that he might have been in the corner rather than the cubby. But placed on the blast radius and his HP, if they lobbed that out, it could have taken care of both regardless. Either way, it is now JDM and Cutler that are survived for CLG. Cutler's going to get aggressive. He'll have Hiko walking up the stairway first. He's going to be on 23. They switched that, actually. It's Fugly instead. And Hiko gets the kill. It's through his teammate. That could have been bad because they lined up, and Hiko on 23. It could have been over just like that. Now they've got a chance to split through highway, and JDM's going to have to rotate. Has his customary weapon, the AWP in hand. How does he even try and approach this situation? Smoke anticipated for Carr. That gives him a gap, but the fire holds him in the corner. That allows Hiko to cross because he had to hug the wall, JDM, and I think that may just be now the invitation to run away, and he is. He's early off this.
I guess didn't really fancy his chances at 2-on-1. AWP knew the fire going down was going to take him down to relatively low HP, I guess. I'm surprised he wouldn't go for that. But seeing as they are 3-1 up, wants to keep the AWP in hand. But that's even with CLG trying to react to it, I said the AWP going towards B, holding that area by himself, 3 M4s anchoring middle, and not actually able to hold off the liquid oppression though. It's kind of interesting.
I'll be interested to see what kind of force buy they bring out around this AWP, because Finesse has 6,700, so he can easily buy. Or does he drop a secondary FAMAS? They go for 3 rifles instead. That's where the question comes in. Tarek will be able to afford a...
yeah, they can buy.
Yeah, they can, definitely. Hayes hits 42 and Tarek hits 3150, so if they want, Cutler's the difference. If Finesse wants, he can drop a FAMAS for Cutler and get an M4 for himself.
Yeah, they definitely should force this. He can drop a couple of M4s there, and the other guys should be fine. Maybe one FAMAS being brought out here. It's going to be Tarek on the 5-7 actually, so that's interesting. But JDM could have dropped a FAMAS there in that situation, but I guess they're trying to keep his money healthy. Once again, it's going to be JDM heading towards B by himself, trying to hold off that mid push. The Molotov comes in this time. They're actually going to slow it down, not going to be as fast towards middle.
And that was why the save call was made, simply due to the money that they knew they would have in the next. As they'll go for this boost. Watch for that position pushed up close, though, by Hayes. Cutler this time playing more passively in mid. And Tarek, he's not with them. He's on A with FNS right now. And they are slowly accumulating in that direction on the terrorist side. That's trying to get some information before they arrive. But that Molotov's going to land directly on his position. Smoke takes away just the edge of it, but that'll cover off the doorway. But either way, they're coming in, Team Liquid. They've made their way through the garage. Cutler finds the first shot on Nitro, and Tarek searching for one, but can't do it with the 5-7, so that ultimately does come into play as he gets put down. FNS is rotated over because Cutler, again, like we mentioned in mid, had gone down. He's got to play it alone from quad. It manages to pick up just the one before Hiko gets back into it, and it's JDM. And as he go for it with the op this time, it's almost an identical situation because last time Hiko had 23 HP. This time it's a Dren with 11, and that's gone. Hit with the Tech 9. JDM going to try and take this one-on-one. Hiko's going to peek it, and down he goes. The AWP will prevail, and Counter Logic Gaming hold on. They'll get guns out again this time, but again, their money is still tight.
So that time he went for the 2-on-1 situation, and what a good decision that was. Utilizing that Tech 9, taking down Hiko there with low HP. Great double headshot there. AWP to finish it off as well. Liquid not opting to go for the plant. That could have been the better call, considering they were about $800 each there, but a round they potentially should have won as well. Great entrance to the bomb site, a 2-on-1 situation, allowing JTM to clutch that one. He's going to be changing position now as well. He'll be heading towards the A bomb site, and you can see that actually may get some confrontation as well.
JDM just not hitting that first shot on the jiggle peak, missing the second as well. As the flash came out, Elise was blinded, kept him moving, and potentially that movement did get him out of the harm's way. JDM's going to switch it to quad now, take a different approach onto that A main garages. Finesse, we could see, is holding into middle right now with that Z connecting spot. And Liquid, with the one AK-47 in the hands of a Dren, are changing their approach. Back through T-spawn, in fact, not even going to take the chance of crossing mid if there's any aggression from CLG.
Well, that's a really nice smoke on B.
So Tarek will hold solo, or will he? Finesse is getting in position now, but he'll be outside of the CT connector. Fortunately, there is no smokes to go against him, so he'll have that position to fire in as soon as they go for the cross. And the Dren already made his way into checker. That Molotov's even better. Like you said, that first smoke was great. Well, the Molotov, it buys them even more time. That segregates a Gen from the rest of his teammate, but now they go. And how can Tarek find one? Has to go for the reload quickly, and Nitro's made it past, so that gives him the kill. Bomb's made it to the platform, but can it get a plant? That's the better question right now. Cutler doesn't spot Fugly getting in position, so he's going to try and hold this, and Finesse will deny it. He'll give up his life in doing so, but ultimately worth the price right now, because that will prevent Liquid from getting any additional money in the next round. Nitro's going to try to recover that, but unfortunately just too many people in his way of doing so, so Hayes will push and force the matter. Down Nitro will go, and 5-2 now for CLG.
So that was the quasi-buy from Team Liquid there. Did well to get a couple of frags on the board, but no bomb going down. They would, if they had got the bomb, they probably could have bought into this round pretty comfortably, but not going to happen this time. Going to be probably on Tech 9s once again. You can see them considering their options right now, what they're going to do with this. Decent hold there from CLG when they come into the B bomb site. Tarek definitely doing well, holding them off for as long as he did, but it's going to be the Tech 9s, armor, and smoke grenades. You'd assume they're going to go towards the A bomb site here and try and do that simple, envious style take of 2 smokes going down, pop flash through, and head out and see what they can do here. Once again, the AWP will be towards A. JDM going to be holding on the bomb side there. Difficult position to hold with so many Tech 9s rushing towards you. So
I really want to see as well, you're right, difficult position to hold with the AWP in this case, but I also want to see Liquid start to going, and they are now, to their smoke strategies on A, because they do land decent smokes. It's the post plant that's more the issue on this map for them, and in doing so, with JDM on that A site with an AWP, it'll make it even harder for him to hit shots. Look how aggressive he has to play in front of that smoke, and Elige now taking down FNS in middle means that he can try and pull rotations. He's gone through the vents. Tarek's going to find him, but it will hold Cutler in place and put even greater pressure onto JDM, who misses that first shot, and now they can try and overwhelm with these Tech 9s. He's danced around the boxes accordingly and kept himself alive, but down to 29 HP, and damage dwindling further. Luckily, Cutler showed up, and he hits the quick shot on the second peak, and Tech 9 to follow that up. So JDM's equal to the task, despite that the execution against him in general was decent to initially start things off. Bomb plant for Team Liquid, but that's all they'll get.
Yeah, so we talked about JDM having a difficult situation there. Whiffed a couple of shots, but that Molotov he actually dropped was perfect. Like, stopped the plant coming in. You can see Cutler actually having to his plan and hope for the best there, and ultimately won the round pretty comfortably. Picked up 2 frags in the process as well. So you can see CLG now 6 for 2 in their favor, and it'll be interesting to see what JDM can bring to the table this time. Did they pick up the AWP for him? So sure they did, you know.
No, I don't see it. Yeah, they did. Okay, it was on the floor. JDM got it.
There we go. So AWP once again. He's been playing towards A so far, but he'll be heading out towards again. And actually going a little bit more aggressive this time, going for the pop flashes into main. Actually going on top of quad. And just holding them off of those flashbangs.
And there's a gap in that smoke as well, which is perfect for his position right now. A lot more pressure on mid this time. 3 players from CLG. Finesse, Hazed, Cutler, all there. Tarek solo on B. Has a smoke in front of the main entrance. No one really pursuing anything out of this. Fugly is in toward the sky room. Or Toxic, but it will not matter at this point in time.
So Liquid haven't gone for that fast mid-aggression we've seen from them earlier in the game for a couple of rounds now.
I'm surprised they're boosting this late into mid without Molotoving off the vents as well. It's going to be okay. There's no one there for them in this case, but usually you don't want to have to cover that angle going over drop this late into a round. And where they are covering the wall of smokes as well indicates they want to take the vents. They don't even know if it's clear. They're basically gambling on this. Plus, they had Fugly waiting out at the sunroom. If anyone was there, they would have dropped into Fugly's position. So they go nonetheless. They'll get away with it. They are going to run into Cutler, who's waiting inside checker, but Nitro's found that kill, which now bodes well for Liquid's chances coming in against Tarek. Lots of flames in place, but Nitro, again, we talked about entry power. There it is. 2 kills for him, and very crucial kills at that. Hiko's going to play the lurk, wait for anyone that tries to rotate through middle and retake from the vents, but CLG, they've already elected to hold on to their weaponry. Yep. Inside the A site, they'll sit tight and wait for the time to expire.
Really flawless round there from Liquid, actually. So they waited their time, walked out what was going on, seeing if they feel out what the CTs were presenting to them. Got the wall of smokes down. Like you said, took a little bit of a gamble going towards the vents there, but got in straight away, took down Cutler within the checker's room. He goes in, and then Tarek drops in the bomb site instantly as well. It's that AK entry potential we see from Nitro every single time. He picks up both frags there. And when you have someone like that that can open up bomb sites, like, it's really viable just to get into any sort of situation, some space just to work. And that's exactly what they did. And he prevails once again. Didn't even lose any HP in that situation. So fantastic stuff from him.
JDM may yet go down. Finesse actually got Hiko that was boosted up, waiting for someone to be at that long position. JDM had his shoulder in the doorway on the connection into A main. And behind the truck, they had a player waiting in that position. I think it was a Liege that was looking to try and take down that AWP. Instead, they hold on to it. They'll bring guns back up, so Liquid will be still tasked with the tough challenge of going against a full armored CLG side. They don't have full kits, though. They've only got 2, one on Hazed and one on JDM. So JDM will be in the A site. Hazed will be playing at mid. That leaves Tarek without in B initially, but they'll play the retake game there.
And here comes that fast mid tactic again. What can Cutler do? Hayes goes down, and here we go. Cutler responds with 1. I think he may die here. Actually manages to take down 2 with him as well. So 3 on 3 now. Good work from him. That's all he had to do. And now the CT's double AWP setup this time. Can they hold off this mid play?
Yeah, taking more than he should have there. Cutler before going down. Watch the shot. JDM not hitting it that time, or rather not JDM, excuse me.
Tarek.
It was Tarek that dropped instead inside that mid position. So JDM's still alive and on the A site with Finesse trying to push through to A main to get information. This might work out because they're walking directly onto his position. So the M4 could come into play, and it does. Elise looking backwards to get the call from his teammate, has the bomb, but ultimately it's still up and tasked on JDM's shoulders to slow Liquid's pace, and they know JDM has had that op toward A. They've not spotted him yet this round, so Fugly, he'll take the bomb back all the way over to B. Hiko's going to join him, and Hiko's going to actually take no chances and get directly inside the bomb site because they have no read if JDM is rotating past mid. He's not going to play the lurk and try and cut it off. He'll play the safe game instead.
So we've seen JDM in a few 2-on-1s tonight. It looks like he will be opting just to stay out of this one, and I think that's probably a very wise choice there. So that mid play coming in once again. We saw Cutler pick up 2 frags, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately, this time. It was Tarek who actually gave the round away, I would say, in that situation. Going for that face, trying to watch 2 angles at once, got taken down with absolutely nothing. He definitely could have played a little bit more passively.
And just a small side, ultimately irrelevant note, but 2 Molotovs were deployed right there from Liquid on the same spot at Heaven, and Hiko is throwing one, Fugly the other. Just shows that potential communication with Hiko not quite there yet. Hiko doing what he might naturally be expected to do, and Fugly, anyway, they both landed at the same spot. They could have done that more efficiently.
It can work out in some situations.
If they do stack.
They do stack,
Yeah.
so that's the whole thing. So like, it means if there a CT is there who's potentially low HP, he doesn't have time to move out of that situation. So
That is true, if they were anticipating that, but I'd almost look like miscommunication in that sense.
well, let's see how this one goes down. Obviously, another AWP being saved here. We know when an AWP is bought and 4 pistols are, it definitely can be viable. But JDM, he did this yesterday, actually. Can he do it once again? He needs to find early frag. Could be pushing towards Squeaky Door. He's going to be waiting for it. It's going to be Hiko anticipating his push towards that Squeaky Door. Let's see what goes down here. The interesting thing about Liquid's play so far, they've been really good flushing out CTs with their Molotovs. It's been absolutely fantastic. Hayes does take down Fugly though. Nitro responds onto Tarek. It's going to be a 4-on-4. AWP still strong though towards that Squeaky Door. It's going to be pushing further and further on. And he actually may find a player here. Narrowly misses out on the kill on Hiko.
And down goes Finesse, trying to get aggressive with that pistol as Elige will find the entry. He's going to go further than that as well, take down JDM. And this will give them the bomb site to work with. So Liquid looking at 5 rounds already on their T side. Remember, T side against CLG in the best of 3 to start off things in the group stages. They only picked up 6 rounds over 2 maps. So already looking to improve upon that. More importantly, on cash to start off this series. Nitro's going to go on the hunt for the remaining players, but there's 2 that were waiting in that angle. So they bring it back to a 2-on-2. And they've also picked up AKs, but as the money's low, no armor, and bomb ticking away for a while, they'll hold on to those weapons.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. So they started the round with an AWP and 4 pistols, leaving it with 2 AKs. I think that's absolutely fine going into this, considering how the round went down. JDM should be able to buy an AWP pretty comfortably next round as well, but this is where it gets interesting. I think middle definitely has been a problem for them. We saw Cutler stepping it up a little bit on that mid hole, but it seems like that's the main tactic. Liquid can keep running and actually winning the frag exchanges there. 9 times out of 10, it feels like at least. And the double AWP setup has been experimented by CLG. We saw Tarek not really having much impact whatsoever with that. And he'd actually be on the 5-7 this round. So this is another round you do have to favour towards Liquid. So maybe they can find some footing into this. 3 players going towards mid once again. And 2 players going to be anchoring. It's going to be Tarek holding B by himself. Again, he's taking a little bit slower. Not boosting up this time. Actually going to be holding towards A with the AWP. Adren's picking up. One of the first times we've seen him play out on this map so far, so.
And we know Hiko likes to play around that squeaky position. Naturally, CLG will have that same understanding and awareness. No one's going to be playing in the angle where Hiko did try and spam originally. It's JDM again on the short side of the box. Finesse is close to him, but here comes those smokes from Liquid. Forces JDM to relocate. The problem is that Finesse is going to go to quad. JDM is rendered essentially irrelevant until they enter closer to him. This AWP, it's searching for the angle, but not yet able to find it. And Fugly taking down Hayes weakens the chances for a rotation as Fugly is playing that lurk, that solo play on B right now. Finesse is going to wait. Eventually, the smoke does all. They try and boost Adren up. They go for a reverse tactic, Liquid, rather than pushing through their own smoke. So they've slowed this enough now that their utilities are rendered useless until Adren hits that shot on Cutler. Down he goes on the catwalk. And they may just rotate back off this because Fugly has cleared the B site. They know they've sold everyone else over. And he spotted Tarek on the highway as well. He'll burn Adren alive, who had very low HP. But the bomb will get to an open B site. And this is a decent call from Liquid. Late mid-round call. Elige gets this down. Hiko and Fugly playing it from the tunnels. So right now this means that they'll have to focus on finessers on the fast rotation, but also watch the angles carefully as JDM is going to bring this AWP back up and into play. It won't be able to spot Elige because he's not going to be careless about his peaks, and Finesse won that initial exchange on the flank. Elige, though, hits JDM before he has time to react, but he's going to go down in the end to Tarek, and that does mean we're now in a one-on-one. Tarek versus Hiko, potentially the 2 most skilled players in the server. A debate to be had, and Hiko, he's got the advantage because the bomb is planted for him, and time is on his side. It'll tie things up 6-6 Team Liquid as Tarek bails out with the M4.
It all came down to that plan. It's such a strong position for Hiko to be in. He doesn't even have to face the bomb. He gave a little shoulder peeks, and the key thing about that is if Tarek even wants to face Hiko, he can't even fake the defuse, really. He has to be looking at the bomb, and it's so obvious to read as to what's going on. JDM does, I think, did he pick up the AWP towards the end there? You can see as it's going to be a force by obviously the last round. So saving the gun, picking up the AWP. And I wouldn't be surprised if Liquid now just went for that full-on mid-aggression once again, just to finish this one off and go out with a bang. It's been so powerful for them, and they're actually doing really well here. That's actually the 13th round. Why do I read it as 8?
Nitro walked in though. Hayes spotted him through the edge of that smoke, and Hayes picked that up on Heiko as well. So a good aggressive play from CLG to start things off in middle. JDM just missing that shot. And JDM not in A this time, interesting to note. They've switched that with finesse to give the rifle better chances, and that I imagine is a direct result of the smoke's play. We saw how struggled JDM was just to find a position in the last round. Watch the Molotov. That didn't... Actually, that may have been intended to go to this fence. It looked like initially on the throw that we saw it was intended to land for finesse, who's using just a shotgun from that angle. So he's not even necessarily going to peek. He wants them to walk into that A site. Use the element of surprise when they get close.
Well, the terrorists now back towards T-spawn with the bomb. Adren has got some positional control of middle, so the CTs are allowing them to do that as well. So you can see there, finesse is going to be pushing into A storage with the Mag 7 in hand. So at least they're getting good information here. He can probably call it's not going to be an A play here whatsoever. So you can see there, JDM just making his way towards the B bomb side as well as he kind of reads his execution coming in. Adren trying to fake towards A, not going to be doing much so as the CTs are already aware as to what's going on.
JDM hits the shot onto Fugly. Successfully so in B. First time we've had his presence there, and that will close the round. That's just enough for Tarek and JDM to hold on to the site. So the momentum that was charged towards Team Liquid as they got 4 rounds in a row is now halted and does give the lead back by 1 to CLG.
Yeah, definitely a big round to win there. That could have broken CLG once again. So they're lucky to get that one on the board. It was down to the quick wit of finesse pushing into A storage, and he needed to get information. That mid play coming in, and Hayes actually locking down 2 players there at the start of the round. That's being so vital towards that mid area. So let's see how this next round goes. Around and see Fugly actually on the tech line this time. Looks like all 5 players will be committing towards the A bomb side. So you'd assume a simple A take coming in, but JDM boosted up on squad once again.
That flash was perfectly timed. He anticipated that it wouldn't ultimately matter because he didn't try and move away from it. I think he thought his teammate would get the smoke out in time. He didn't. That allowed Heiko to hit the shot, and now finesse, although walking out, he actually hits 2. That is more than he definitely was owed in that position, and it may have just been enough to give them the round because Hayes will come around from the forklift and close out on the final 2 players. If finesse didn't hit those shots, Liquid was in the sight.
Yeah, absolutely. JDM, like he said, got flash. He was kind of hoping it was almost a bait flash. Didn't really go down that way. He gets taken down, but the good news is for CLG is the money has been absolutely broken here for Liquid. They'll be going in with Tech 9s, smoke grenades, and some flashbangs as well. And let's see how they go into this next round. They have been having a lot of mid presence here, but this time we'll be opting to go towards A once again. Got a couple of guys towards the B storage. Bomb is down towards mid though, so just going to be holding on and seeing whether they can gain any sort of intel. Hayes is going to be in the vents this time.
Tarek pushing through. Checker is going to get confronted by Fugly, but knowing that they have to be on the save this time, he's not scared to reapproach that situation, readdress the matter. And Fugly will go down, but the flash from Nitro is going to force Tarek back in the corner. This means the B site is essentially held from the perimeter right now. Hayes is fortunately inside those vents, though, and able to pick up the shot on Adren. They did have JDM as well. Posted toward heaven, but his cinch expired. And Cutler getting a leaves just Heiko. It's going to be a 9-6 half. CLG have done just enough to hold on after 4 rounds go back to Liquid. It could have been a lot closer, but again, 6 rounds. That's as much as they got over 2 maps the last time these 2 teams played. So Liquid, a bit of an improvement, but is it enough?
Well, the fact that the CLG won the pistol and only got 9 rounds of CT cash, just like it's very good for Liquid, to be honest. Their gun rounds were very convincing. Like you said, 4 in a row. Their mid takes were strong. A couple of their A takes as well seemed very formidable. So obviously, I think it's going to come down to the pistol. If CLG do take this one, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this one goes down. You would assume that most teams do a very simple strategy on cash. They go for either a B rush or maybe a fast mid split, but let's see what CLG can bring to the table here. We'll analyze their buy quickly and see whether we can work it out. I'll be interested to see as well whether Liquid will go for that heavy B aggression. We know a lot of teams do that, trying to work out whether the rush is coming in and whether they can gain some intel and potentially pincer back to the A-bomb site. So here we go then. 4 armor being purchased so far for CLG. Cutler's going to be onto the smoke grenades. Actually dropped the Tech 9 for Tarek, who was the raid boss, and looks like that B rush is going to come true. Can the CTs hold this one off?
Finesse gets through the smoke past Heiko, who's allowed that, but they find him in the corner, so ultimately you can't backstab anyone. Not to mention they've also taken down Adren as JDM finds that kill. Vent blown out. Tarek's still going to watch it. Fugly wants to desperately come through, but bomb already planted, and CLG with 9 rounds, if they can pull this off, have a chance to hit 12 before guns come back against them, as it is the CT side. There's no way to gain additional income by just getting bomb plants in JDM. An excellent shot onto Nitro. Follow that up with Hayes Donalege. It's down to 1 versus 3, but Fugly, the chance is very limited right now. He is getting trapped and taken down. And now, well, not as quickly as I would have thought. I thought easily Cutler would have found that shot. Fugly a little bit more aware, but it does mean the round's over.
Absolutely. Like I said, the B rush, it's so hard to hold off there, but 1 CT remaining. That's got a USP and a kit, I guess, the
and
body
chest
armor.
Yeah,
it's worth saving considering you know you're going to lose the round. So that's not bad for him. But like I said, CLG rushing B, unless the first CT can find that headshot there, it's almost impossible to hold off. It's such a difficult situation. Hiko did everything he could. He pushed through the smoke. Could have been an interesting play, but not able to find much with it. So now we're going to see Liquid's reacting to this. They haven't brought up almost anything in this round, so they're not going to be forced buying scouts that we normally see. It looks like another B rush coming in, but the interesting thing is, well, CTs are going to be stacking towards there. They're expecting this, so maybe potentially going to get a couple of kills in this scenario. Molotovs go towards checkers, and you assume Cutler's going to be clearing out some key positions before they make their breach onto the bomb site.
And no one's really peeking. Elige is playing a generator, so he'll be spotted the further and deeper into the site they go, but Hiko and Elige are not showing at all. Unfortunately, that nade does so much damage to Nitro that he's going to open things up and try and make that movement. It doesn't pay off, and down everyone is going. Not Fugly, though. He somehow manages to survive on Evan despite all the shots raining against him, and eventually JDM will finish that, complete the task, leave it to just Adren 1-on-5. He'll hope for the best in trying to just do damage to the economy at this point in time. And smartly so, Finesse is not even going to involve himself with that. He's gone all the way back to Toxic on very low HP. It should be fairly easy for Counterlogic to hold this off.
So although CLG did 2 B rushes in a row, that one they just did there was actually pretty clean and like clinical. They made sure they cleared out the checkers first. They smoked off key positions, Molotov the bomb site before they even face that. So they know they can flush the CTs out before the face even happens. You can see not dropping a single man there is just testament to how well they played it. It's something we've said about CLG recently. They really have seemed to have gelled as a unit. They're making sure they're taking bomb sites efficiently, and every man is very important to them in terms of their economy. So that's actually really fantastic to see them get their second round of the board in such a clean manner. So now we go into round number 3 of this half. Liquid once again not forcing too much into this. Got 4 P250s, a CZ on a leech, a couple of smoke grenades as well, and actually going to be going towards the A bomb side this time. So 4 guys towards there. It's actually perfect reads both time from Liquid. Will they be able to make this one work for them?
Not much to see but Gray for Elige, but look at his position. Aggressive toward middle. He wants to try and get in behind CLG. He's got all kinds of information with that stack as well on the A site. This could be perfect. Elige just needs to be careful not to go down before they attack because they'll be so occupied with taking down 4 members that he could have a chance to flank. But as he walks in, Finesse was waiting for that. Now, what does Finesse call off of this? Does he read that it's a stack, or do they go anyway? Because they are hiding out CLG, or rather Liquid again, much like they were in the last round, but CLG has found every single kill they need. So twice a stack has amounted to not much at all. Nitro will eventually pick up 1 kill. JDM comes around the corner with the P90, sprays through, and picks up Hiko as well.
Like you said, there was a decision there. Once they realized the CT had stabbed them in the back, I think it was probably a little bit too late. As soon as they killed him, they just committed to the bomb site. It's definitely not a good idea to be apprehensive and say, okay, let's fall back. You have to get in there, work together, use the smokes and the Molotovs like you would before, try and flush the CTs out. And they did it again, a 3-0. So 12-6 now, getting themselves in a fantastic position. But what I like from Liquid is they had a lot of discipline not to force buy those rounds, giving Adren the AWP the best possible chance they can to win rounds. He's going to be going towards B. Not going aggressive though, he's actually be holding very far back, and this is the Hail Mary play from CLG. They're sending 4 players towards B, opening it up, taking down Hiko as well. Adren, everything to play for.
They've got to pull this back with the guns, and Adren gets burned alive. The AWP not able to contribute, and that makes a massive difference, but look for Elige. He's come through and picked up 2, so the round's not done just yet. CLG do still have the man advantage and a B site to work with. Smoke as well to hold off the player at Heaven. Makes things worse right now for Nitro, as Fugly is getting inside those vents though, and no one really watching him as well. The pop flash from Tarek, anticipating his arrival, but gives Fugly a bit more space as Tarek also has to fall off of it. Second time's a charm though, and without that entry and that much time gone, and Nitro knowing the similar fate on that ramp, they've elected to save already. So Counterlogic Gaming will hit 13, and Liquid, they've got to find a way back into this immediately. Again, their A site hold is very good. But if they don't give themselves a chance with momentum to shut down CLG elsewhere on the map, it's not even going to come to fruition.
I'm interested why you'd send the AWP towards B and not actually face the tight angle. Maybe the Swarm
usually you go for that fast draw.
Just to get the information. Like, you're in such a difficult point there. If you actually allow the T's to get in so quickly, you have no chance of actually holding off the bomb side. There's too many of those. You just get swarmed like he did. If you've got that information going towards it, you at least go for the first shot, and you have the chance to fall back to the bomb site there. You have the worst of both worlds, not even facing. You're kind of just hoping, getting flashed out and smoked and Molotoved. So disappointing from Adren there, but obviously 13 for Adam for the board for CLG, and 2 guns for Team Liquid. It's going to be Fugly and Nitro, the M4s. Definitely 2 guys who can make stuff happen with them, but now CLG slowing the pace right down and trying to work some picks here.
And rightfully so. They don't want to walk into anywhere these rifles might be playing, give the pistols a chance to pick up some close quarters kills. And Hayes will find Elise trying to do exactly that as he pushed through the garage at mid yet again. Calm, cool, collected. Name of the game. If they get this, it's only 2 to go before map 1 falls to them. Best of 5. It's a long night no matter how you look at it, but if they could get it done in 3, it would be
right now,
better off for them to prepare for Luminosity tomorrow.
My CLG are playing. They definitely are in the driving seat, especially on this T half. Seems like the A execution will come in. 2 CTs waiting for them. Buckley's going to be boosted on that site. Can he hold them off?
Down he goes, Tarek, as he walks around the corner on that stack. So Fugly works it, but now going to fall back onto quad. They know that that's naturally where he's gone, and well played. Throw the Molotov, force him out of position, and JDM hits the shot when he makes the move. So that leaves Adren, who's only got the 5.7 and not in a position to recover the M4 in a very tight angle. He manages to find JDM. The smoke's dissolved, though, so when Finesse comes around the corner, he is exposed, and Finesse will push forward as the bomb gets planted to take down Hiko as well. It started well, but that Molotov play to give JDM the shot was brilliant.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with CLG's approach to bomb sites. Even when they're going very fast, they're using the Molotovs the way they should be as well. Flushing CTs out, allowing JDM just to hold the angle, and as soon as the CT faces, bang, he goes down. But now this is where it gets interesting. Liquid back on the full buy. Adren once again with the AWP. Last time he went towards B, and like I said, didn't really have any impact there. We'll just play the angle a little bit wrong, in my opinion. But now he's going to be holding towards middle. More plays, more CLG heading towards mid. Heading towards the B storage area. And now they actually have invested 2 rifles towards B. It's going to be Hiko, along with the leads there. They smoked it off, just trying to slow the T's down, perhaps. Nothing really going on right now, but Fugly did have a little peek into A main. The T's is buying their time now and seeing what they can do with the map, trying to bait out some CT utility, perhaps.
And it is Fugly and Adren this time in A, so they've pulled Nitro off of it, which isn't the traditional play from Team Liquid. So changing things up here to try and strengthen B, which has been a problem, and again where CLG are trying to exploit that difference. Alicia's so low on HP before this even begins, and Tarek will find him, trying to lurk forward in that smoke, perhaps waiting for a flashbang to come out from his teammate in Checker. And on that kill, they're going to rotate back over. Adren, Hiko, Nitro. They've all got to read this. They've got to act quickly, and Hiko and Nitro are far away, just coming out of B now. So Fugly is going to have to come up massive. Needs at least 2 if he wants to slow this down. He gets the first successfully. Bomb dropped as well. A chance for more, but no. JDM beats him to the punch, and now they'll recover, and the retake can't even happen. Hiko hitting Cutler and not getting caught by the man lurking in middle does give their chances a much better chance. I didn't phrase that very well, but Nitro will hit JDM. Either way, that does give them now the man advantage. The boost for Tarek, trying to get information. That gives the awareness, though, to Liquid. The 2 are there, but Tarek's hitting the shots. The first is ahead. The second is down on Adren as well, and they cannot respond. Finally gets into the one-on-one situation, and Nitro pulls it off, coming in late, picks up the kit that's beside the bomb, and he'll get the defuse.
Wow, what a round that was. Seemed like the terrorist side was so committed to that B bomb site. Really quick rotation there. Left Fugly isolated on the bomb site, manages to take down 1, slows him down just enough there, and that's stacked towards quad as well. I thought Tarek had that one tied up. Really nice, crisp shots from him. Takes down 2, but not going to be enough. And you can see Nitro there just clutching around. A must-win round, obviously, for Liquid. Keep themselves in this game, but it's not going to end there. You can see their economy still isn't too strong. Some guys without armor. Famis is being bought as well. Hiko actually going naked. Just an M4 here. And seeing what he can do to hold them off.
Close on Hiko.
Now
Keep it decent run boost, yeah, and successful. Fugly lands it. Again, we saw this on the pistol round coming out from CLG. That was spotted immediately. Cutler, I believe, was the man that was up there. Now they'll have a strengthened A site. Adren as well going to get boosted, or rather boost himself. Jump across on top of quad with the AWP. That smoke is good, but he'll see just above it in case anyone dare go to Checker. Or to Walker, rather. Speaking of Checker, though, Unleash forced out by that Molotov. That will give their strength in mid. Smoke as well on the main connector. And CLG will try and go for the split play.
got control of middle now. The CTs are going to allow that.
They've reboosted as well. Elige has gone back up after that flames were put in, so they may not be ready for this because they'll expect the fact that they've cleared it. Although an excellent shot from Cutler. Elige down and in on B they go. Bomb still way over toward A. JDM's going to grab that, but the rest of his team, they're already looking for the entrance, and they find Hiko immediately on arrival. It's left to Nitro in the back of the site, who has to figure out which angle's best. He's got players on both sides of him, and Hayes is in fact going to push all the way into CT right now to cut off the rotation from Fugly, successfully so. Nitro's still not shown himself. He's still waiting in the back of sight. Now he takes the bomb planter and more. But finally it does get put in place, and Nitro does this time take down JDM, and it's Adren to follow it up on Finesse. It's left to just Cutler. And I said that he took the bomb planter. Nitro actually took the player just in front of that, so they did get it down in the end. Liquid's still in a good position here to try and close it out, despite that it's open to Cutler's position. Adren's there with the AWP.
What a play by Nitro that was. The 3 men on the bomb site. The teasers thought they had completely cleared that one and tied the round together. Nitro was just very patient and takes down 2 kills, and I think he may have got it sneaked in the third as well. Just watching him play. This is so sneaky. The only way they could have won this round is this play by him. And fantastic stuff, and that's a must-win round for Liquid. Had they lost that one, the economy would have been broken. That would have been pretty much GG. So fantastic stuff from Cutler as well. His entry onto the bomb site, killing the guy in vents we didn't expect there as well. Really impressive stuff, but Liquid somehow hold on here, and the show goes on.
Show goes on and will not stop. Liquid, I said they've changed things up. They put Nitro on that B site. Well, it came out big that time. And now Adren, he's starting to get rolling because 3 kills in the last round added to the one on JDM, winning that battle. Remember, you highlighted those 2 players together at the very start of this because you said Adren had to rise to the occasion to beat JDM. Well, he's done it in this round. Is it going to be enough for Liquid to continue forward with this momentum they're trying to establish? Flash comes in, and FNS, he naturally has to escape in the corner, but what a shot in response on Elige, who tries to pursue the kill. A smoke now as well will mean Hiko can't follow that up, and Finesse is going to get away with this, so back to 4 versus 4. He comes out worse for wear, Finesse, as he's down to 23, but still a trade. This favors CLG in trying to operate against a very thin defense now.
Well, the good thing for Liquid is they have got the double AWP set up as well, but they're going to have to play very passively. Hayes is going to have some good mid control here. No one from the CT side actually towards there. Fugly's trying to watch over his back. You can see Adren currently looking towards A main on top of quad. I was going to say, that's a difficult position to be in considering no one's looking highway, but here we go. Hayes opens it up, takes down Hiko, and Adren neutralizes him as the terrorists make their way onto the A-bomb site.
Done by Adren again, so now 2 picks to keep it stable. And time expiring. Tarek, though, has picked up the op in return and will finally take down Adren. But Fugly, he's trying to find Tarek. Each knows the other's there, but can't find the angle. And when they do, Tarek prevails up close with the AWP. Is this just enough? Have they finally pushed it over the edge? From 3 on 3. And what could have been for Liquid, who seemed to have position, to seem to be ready for that A take. They lose the exchanges, and now it's down with a post plant 3 versus 1. Nitro's going to try and do what he can from highway, as he has picked up an AK, elected to drop away the AWP as he goes for these battles, but Tarek seems to think he's got the idea where he is. Nitro still wins 1. He wants to get closer, but this bomb is still planted in such a good position for that A main position, and it's not even going to get that far. Finesse waits at quad, and we will hit 15 for CLG.
Unfortunately, when you had that double AWP set up, they left middle open, and it put Adren in a position where he's trying to watch highway and A main at the same time, and then the opening pick from Tarek. This is the kill that changed it. I thought Tarek was done for. I'm not really sure how he managed to make that one work for him. No scope on the Fugly. Huge kill there, and obviously brings him in towards map point. Economy in a horrible situation for Liquid, and you have to assume that the odds are heavily stacked towards CLG taking this round. So let's see what the reaction is. Mid stack coming in. Molotov's going to be dropped, and looks like the counter boost. Elige will be going up there to see whether he can get a cheeky little frag here.
And you talk about that last round as well, that 3-on-3 tense situation. We'll look at the money now. It could have been the other way around. It could have been CLG having to save and Liquid getting their 9th, potential 10th round. Real chance to bring this back to close scoreline. It may not be possible at this point in time. We'll see what these pistols can do. That nade onto Elige, though, does damage. They're expecting this counter boost. They know that on pistols, they have to get up close and try and take the fight to them.
And now they're just biding their time, seeing if they can make a CT make a mistake. I'd assume they're just going to use these Molotovs once again, flush out CTs, and it should be a simple take onto the bomb site. Elige yet to show his hand, still boosted there, waiting, see if he can find anything, but here we go. The Molotovs are deployed.
Molotovs to clear every possible angle. No one's really been playing in the quad on the initial takes a whole lot for Liquid. They've actually been playing it much like JDM was on this red box. That's the case it's going to be now, but Cutler comes out the door at the exact right moment. Not before Dren could take down Hayes, though, and Elise following that up on JDM. This still sits at 3 versus 3. No rifles recovered, though. That's the bigger problem until Fugly takes down Tarek. He'll now pick up the AK-47 and a bomb, and they're going for this flank, which keeps Cutler occupied. Door gets close so he can focus the fight, but Liquid will pull it off.
It's all down to Elige there as well. We saw him being so patient on that counter boost area, waited for the execution to come onto it, and then he just chose the perfect time to go into the backstab, took down one player in A storage, went towards Squeaky, gets down Cutler as well. So big round for them to get back into, and actually looked like it may break CLG a little bit here as well. So they're going to be on Tech 9s and smoke grenades, obviously still on that point for them. So 6 to go. Can Liquid hold on as they get themselves back into a more favourable situation? All 5 T's going to be heading towards A. You'd assume a simple A take coming in here. Smokes down towards Highway and Quad. Pop flashes coming in, trying to split through the Squeaky door. It actually looks like they may be going for something a little bit more strat heavy as they're going for the more telegraph smokes over the top of the roof. That does lock off areas like the upper bars there, and see Nitro just waiting. Should be a strong position for him considering not too many Molotovs on the T side.
Door open for Cutler now. Draws the attention of Fugly. Nitro is back over in his default. He's ready for the smokes to come in. They've Molotoved off Quad, but not the fence, so Nitro's still here. The flashbang will cover his eyes, but when he comes back out, not efficiently, but does take down Cutler in the end. It forces Hayes to turn back around, and he's gone. Bombs planted. They've gone further this round than the last CLG, but the numbers still stacked heavily in Liquid's favor. That flashbang was swift against Hiko, so Tarek taking down Elige and getting him behind Quad means we're not done just yet. And remember, this is Tarek we're talking about. If he hits one headshot, what a difference it could make. No kit for Hiko. Adren has one, but they've got the time, so Hiko will hold it.
Yep, so that's the A take we knew was coming. Actually did a very good job of it as well. When you get 3 kills and the bomb going down, you consider that a successful save by that. And now that gets them into a very strong position. And you can see the CT money not great. They did save an AK and an M4, so still will be able to buy fully into this one. Nitro perhaps won't have too much utility, but it should be fine as JDM does pick up the AWP now. That has been very strong from this T half. We've seen him flushing CTs out with the Molotovs, and he's picking off anyone rotating. Let's see how they approach this one. 5 to go. Liquid to hold on still.
He's just going to again get aggressive toward this B side of the map right now. Try and hold off from Checker. Hazed. CLG, they're all waiting for these pushes again. Take no chances again on this 15th round. AWP up for JDM. None to speak of on Liquid's side. JDM's going to be the booster rather than the boosted this time as well. So the rifles will go over top of mid. It's Tarek and Cutler who leads the way. They've already Molotoved off on that vent as we can just see those flames extinguish. What a difference the height in that smoke has made. Because now look how easily you can back yourself into corner of the Z connector and still spot that drop position. Definitely a game changer in this map, but nonetheless they've made their way through the vents. Rotations are coming over. It's Hiko and Elige this time inside of that B site. Molotov lands on the back of the platform though, so Elige has to get forward. They're both going to try and take the fight, but they might get caught because Cutler's got inside Elige. That was beautiful. One shot forward, 180 around, takes down Cutler, and that may just make the difference here because it leaves them in 3-on-3, and that could have been a potential disaster if not for those kills. They'll still be relentless here and try and push forward, but Fugly's heard JDM rotating back over to the A site, and as such, Nitro's already bailed out to cover it from Truck. Fugly's going to get on JDM, and he's realized it, so he goes back for the fight, and Hayes is rendered useless in this situation as the nade will land, and a headshot as well from Nitro on the distance. Hayes gets a Dren, but the bomb's now down, and Liquid are going to pick up 11.
So all of a sudden, it looks like they may have some sort of chance going into this one, managing to hold on. 4 more to go. And CLG look a little bit lost in certain situations here. That B take, they had a lot of positional advantage there, getting into checkers before anything actually happened. And Elige picking up 2 very big frags there, pushing up some into the B storage area and managing to get some 180 shots off as well. Adren picking up the AWP once again. Will he be able to form it this time? This time he's going to be opting to go towards middle. And now the T's are going to be on yet another Tech 9 buy. Smokes and a couple of flashbangs we purchased as well. And it seems like all 5 will be committing towards the A-bomb site. Actually, interesting enough, though, the CTs aren't going to have any presence there whatsoever. Fugly playing very passively indeed. So if CLG have managed to get in and get a bomb down, which they will do as well, this could be a difficult retake for the CTs.
Adren hits the shot onto JDM, though. Again, that AWP battle, although this time not with both players wielding it. bode well for Liquid to take this now completely flawlessly, as well as Adren will hit Cutler on the way through. 15-12. Guns should come immediately right back up, though, because this is now 4 rounds in a row. Round loss bonus is accumulating.
Hayes has only got 3k to play with, so he can't even get... He's just below 3k as well. We're going to get Galil and head armor here. So he's going to opt for the Tech 9. See JDM trying to consider what he's going to buy. He's going for the AWP there. So here we go then. Round number 28. 3 to go for Liquid. Actually looking pretty strong now. Once again, all 5 of the T's heading towards the A-bomb site. They really want to make one of these executions work out for them. I do like this. It normally is a bit of a 50-50 gamble. If you can get the bomb down and work a post-plant situation. Actually could be going back to B perhaps. Maybe a little bit of a fake here.
Could be a fake. With these smokes in play, though, there is 2 rifles now they're going. It's in 3 main. Finesse is going to try and open up from middle. But with the 2 rifles in place as opposed to an op on that site, they have pulled Nitro. He's gone down to support middle. Fugly's gone. He's essentially given up the site, Nitro, to try and take this fight and support Adren because he was low on HP. And if he'd stayed, he might have been able to cut them off with the crossfire position. This now allows, well, I was going to say for a bomb plant, but they've elected to go for the boost instead and try and further the fight right now, has CLG. They've got the man advantage. They want more, and they aren't comfortable yet putting the bomb in place. That late smoke on top of the red will now allow it to get placed. And Finesse will have to do the duty of holding off everyone as he's the only one with line of sight. And Cutler, though, gets Nitro as soon as he goes on catwalk. Big kill to have in these situations because Nitro is such an impact player. Elige gets back in, and it's still 2 versus 3. Low HP on Cutler, he's gone. Good nade from Elige as well. Walks out, and hello, up close in this vision of the AWP gone already. It's down to just Tarek. He sits on the bomb. He knows one's on both sides, and he can't land it. He almost flicked back to where Hiko was, but not where he is. 15-13, Liquid are not done just yet.
Wow, so the A-take coming in once again for CLG. A little bit of a twist on it that time. Deployed all the smokes, sent one, walked back towards middle, sent 2 people over. Adren getting the initial kill, and then the full play onto A came in. It seems like the CT just able to hold on once again. Bomb does go down, but now, after winning 5 in a row, CT's are going to be in a definite favourable situation. CLG definitely at the maximum loss bonus here, so $3,400 for them each round, so they can buy the AKs once more. 2 more to go for Liquid, though. Seem like they're holding on. And CLG once again setting up for the A-take. They really want this to work out for them. They know they're getting the bomb down pretty consistently. It's not winning the clutches, so they want to finish it like this. And I think it may be just a matter of time, but now it's getting to the point with only 2 rounds left as the smokes come in once more.
Neat little trick by Hiko over on B. We'll get back to that in just a minute, but Elige is going to be the aggressor and catch this rotation back toward that site as Hazed will go down. Finesse gets back to Elige in turn. Tarek finds Nitro on the entry, but bomb is over at the B site, so this is just to hold Fugly in place. It means Adren and Hiko now have to shut down 2 players, and in they go. Smokes out on Adren means the op is out of play, and JDM going to pass over it. No, that smoke didn't land actually in connector, so Hiko's got great position, and he's held them both off from the platform to save Adren as they tunnel onto him, and it's Cutler, the only one left with an AK-47. This has all the potential ingredients to go to overtime because money is gone for CLG. If Cutler can't close this out right now in the clutch situation, we're going to be on 15-14 and a force buy from CLG. And imagine the comeback it would be from Liquid after giving up 6 rounds. I was going to say 5 rounds at the start of this. They've got a chance to make it 15. And just quickly, Hiko went and jumped off the boxes in the B site to knock out the glass inside and then threw a flash through it. So what he was doing is getting rid of the glass so they don't hear the flash coming through. And then as soon as the flash went through, Elige peeked into Sunroom through the B halls.
What an amazing play it was from Hiko as well. Holding that site so formidably. 2 headshots from him. And now, like he said, the money isn't great for CLG here. They have Tech 9s and Galils. And now you kind of think this will be going to overtime. Liquid looking so strong on all these retakes. They tried to do the set piece onto A and faked it back to B, but Liquid just so ready for that one. Fugly being boosted onto the site now. And once again, all 5 players for CLG being opted to go towards the A-bomb site. They've tried every variation of this so far. Which are they going to go for this time? Smoke's going to be deployed. Maybe just going straight onto the site and trying to work the plays. It looks like they will be running back towards middle this time, boosting up.
Still want in toward A main. Bombs on Cutler and Squeaky, yeah, so they're pretty much committed to this A site at this point in time. Fugly tries to get that information and the shot above those smokes, but eventually has to fall off of it. This will now allow Hayes to get over the top. He falls off his initial shot, spotted up Nitro, wants more, but he's given himself up. That allows Fugly to get the kill. Nonetheless, CLG, they pushed in, and have they done enough? It's 4 versus 2 in the last round. And if Liquid can clutch it back, we go to overtime. If not, CLG take map 1. Bomb has been planted. Positions right now from Liquid. Well, Hiko's at truck. Eligi's coming from highway. And CLG's got all kinds of time to set up these crossfires and positions in the post plant. And they've done exactly that. Finesse has already spotted one crossing over. He's losing the battle to Hiko. Down on HP, but not dead yet. Elise will follow that up. And he's also going to get JDM. That gives them a chance. Elise looks back, but Tarek still hits the shot. Hiko, meanwhile, does his job against Cutler, but it leaves it in a one-on-one. And
wow.
Tarek, with 4 kills in the last round, will close map number 1.
You've got to feel pain for Liquid there after getting so close to getting into overtime. It was just that presence towards A. It was just, like I said, CLG knew that round was going to work at some point, but man, did it come close there. So many executions tried. All the smoke's going over. They tried every single variation of it. Going back to B, boosting back to middle. That time, they just went straight into it. Simple A take with the smoke grenades and managed to get the entry kills that time. And it did come down to a one-on-one situation, but
yep.
Close but no cigar. Liquid going to be gutted with that, I think.
Absolutely. After how close they came. And again, 9-6 at half. Losing that pistol, it went to 12-6. Worse than that, it went to 14-6, and they bring it back to 16-14 in the end, and a one-on-one to close it as well. That was pretty nuts.
I feel bad for Liquid. They were doing so well. The retakes are so on point. We saw Nitro, Hiko stepping up huge as well, and it was just a little bit too much for them to get back into.
It's a much better start than the series that we had between them.
But like
2 nights ago.
those one can be even more crushing. Like if you have
absolutely, I'll agree with you. But from a spectator perspective,
absolutely,
it does mean that we've got a good series on our hands if it
Mm-hmm.
continues like this. So I do agree with what you're saying, though. Mentally, it can absolutely get inside your head to come that close. And remember, they came that close on Overpass the other night as well. So
you're right. So that's exactly what happened. It looked like they were completely out of it, and then all of a sudden they came to life on their CT side, and actually CLG seemed like they couldn't close it out. They came down to the 30th round once again, like it did on Overpass the other night.
Happy birthday, bud. Zubinus. All right, let's look at the scoreboard. See who led the way, because honestly, I was so caught up in the action. I don't even remember who did have the top frags. I guess it was Tarek. Surprise, surprise. 31 kills, only 6 headshots. That's kind of rare for a guy like Tarek, but doesn't matter. He gets the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at the first kills as well. Adren actually having a decent game. 17 kills with him, 5 first kills as well. Hiko really did impress me. Like, he may not have had the most frags on the server, but the frags he was getting, he was holding positions by himself. And that B play towards the end as well. When they mixed it up, they kind of changed their setup. But Adren originally, if you remember, was AWPing B. And then they moved Hiko over to there. And he was doing very well, like opening frags and some very clever play, like you pointed out. But Tarek definitely leading the charge in the score, though.
Absolutely. Heat map, we'll take a peek. Had all 30 rounds played, so it'll give us lots of information.
Well then, let's have a look. So Liquid, it seems like they were favoring towards the mid area and towards A as well, but CLG very heavy towards A bomb side, not actually going towards mid too much. We know Liquid likes to boost and go very fast towards middle, but...
And remember to look at this from the reverse perspective. It also means that Liquid didn't have a lot of defense in that mid position, because look how little kills there were there for CLG to take it.
We saw a few times when Adren was forced to go into the quad position, watching down towards highway, and that was actually a downfall for them in some instances, because he was trying to watch A main and towards highway as well. They had no real vision as to what was going on mid. Sometimes can be absolutely fine, but when CLG were being so aggressive around there and actually playing very cleverly, it was hard to hold off.
And that just to clarify, that is kind of the trick with the heat map. When you look at it, you look and say, oh, geez, Liquid put so much pressure on mid. It could also mean that CLG put more defense in mid. Sure. CLG could put the same number of men in toward middle, but Liquid didn't have the same defense, and therefore there's less kills there, right? So
Liquid are very mid-focused. They'll boost 2 or 3 men up there quite a lot. In the first 5 rounds, they did that almost every time. So CLG had no option but to send 3 players there and actually lock that down. So that's not surprising at all. But definitely an interesting game to start it up, and I'm very glad it did go down to the wire. Like I said, Liquid, when you get that close to bringing it back and you just lose in the last round, it does make things a whole lot more frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's such a teams of this talent, it's such a hard job to win a game in general and to get that many rounds, and it's like 2 rounds of difference. Guess what? Doesn't matter. It's 1-0 in the series. We'll take a look at the MVP. It's going to be Tarek. And again, 31 kills. Surprising. I still say it's a bit surprising because he's known for his accuracy. They only had 6 headshots, but again, small stat to note when you look at the win and the number of kills.
When you get 31 kills, I don't think you care about the headshot percentage. A kill's a kill, and it can be a very scrappy map, Cash. There's so many smokes and flashbangs and molotovs going off. It's just getting in there and making a close range, making the kills count. So that's what he did.
And to be fair, when you look at the graphs from this sort of display, I guess you could say, kills he was a little bit ahead, but everything else, everyone was pretty close. Deaths was fairly even. Obviously, a few more for Liquid as they lost. Assists, fairly even. KDA, he's a little bit ahead, fairly even for everybody else. So good distribution across the board, but it will overall be CLG taking map 1. Dust 2 comes up next for Liquid.
Well, the thing is, Liquid seemed to come to life towards the back end of that game. and now they're going to Dust 2. Seems like the players are warmed up now, especially the likes of Hiko. Adren seems to be coming alive with the AWP as well, so hopefully Dust 2 is somewhere they can actually get back into this.
And no surprise, it is CLG's map choice. It's become the map that they've been known to get the upsets on. It does also mean, though, that Liquid have side choice, but Dust 2 side choice, perhaps less of a factor than what it was on Cash. We'll take a break before we get there, and we'll jump right into the action to figure out if Liquid can answer already. Smoke pop splashes his way through, bounced it off the floor, in fact, so not even the right click into it, and that gets him 2 kills.
B storage and go for some early faces. FNS actually could be going in with that good spawn towards B. Interesting to see how he actually faces.
And Nitro's going to find Hayes before Tarek even gets in the corner to a dodge that flash, and he hits 2, though. Great response.
Yeah, from CLG, and it comes to the bomb side. Tarek definitely doing well.
Dwindling further. Luckily, Cutler showed up, and he hit the quick shot on the second peak, and
pushing into A storage, and he needed to get information. And mid-play coming in, and Hayes.
EDM comes around the corner with the P90, sprays through, and picks up Hiko as well. The smoke's dissolved, though, so when Finesse comes around the corner, he is exposed, and Finesse will push forward as the bomb gets planted to take down.